Hi, I'm Maren. Welcome back to my channel, Maren Makes It. Today I'm here to show you guys some things I found at Goodwill recently that I've thrifted. I feel like I've been having really good luck with this lately, which is part of the reason that I was inspired to make this video. But I feel like this kind of combines my two loves, my love for travel and the outdoors, and also my love for fashion and beauty. I've been thrifting for a long time. I want to say since before it was cool, because I really started doing it in middle school when I would have sort of a limited allowance or limited money from babysitting and various other jobs that I guess I would do, or birthday money or something. I figured out that if I could get my parents to take me to the thrift store, I could make my money go a lot further and get a lot more interesting clothes than just getting the same stuff that everybody else was wearing at school. And the reason I want to say that I've been thrifting since before it was cool was that during this time when I was doing this, it was not cool to tell your friends like, oh, I got this at Goodwill. Oh, guess how little I paid for this because I thrifted it. Like, saying that was not cool. Like, to the point where I wouldn't tell anybody where I got my clothes. I would just tell them the brand if they asked me like, oh, where'd you get that shirt? Or where's that shirt from? I wouldn't tell them that I had bought it secondhand. So that kind of gives you an idea that thrifting actually wasn't cool at that time. Anyways, that trend of thrifting has definitely continued into adulthood and is something that I've done throughout my traveling occasionally, just to kind of like refresh my clothes or refresh my wardrobe. And then I also don't feel as bad if I, end up using something for a shorter period of time and then I just end up donating it back to the thrift store or giving it away to somebody else on my travels. And obviously it's a way to save money too. Okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna show you guys is kind of weird. So it's actually this poofy ballet tutu. And I was thinking that it would be interesting to do like a photo shoot or use this for a costume or something. And it was $4. That was the best part. And that was really kind of the kicker for me. So Goodwill is a great place to find stuff like this that generally somebody only wore once, probably for a costume or for some kind of performance, because stuff like this is oftentimes almost like brand new at Goodwill. And it's also a great way for you to get a cool costume possibly without having to spend a lot of money. While I think dressing up for Halloween and for other things is super fun, I know how expensive it gets when you're trying to have a good costume or even trying to make it yourself. All the materials can really start to add up. So going to Goodwill is one way to kind of hack that and make it a little bit less expensive to put together a cool Halloween costume. Just some food for thought. I know it's only August, you guys, but Halloween will come before you know it. Anyway, so that was my first find, and that was for $4. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you guys is this denim jacket. It's actually from H&M, which is not maybe the highest quality of clothing, I know, I'm aware. However, this denim jacket was only $4.99, which I don't know anywhere else where you can get a denim jacket for $4.99, whether you're talking about fast fashion brands or more high-end brands. So this is kind of a cute crop style denim jacket. I have an oversized denim jacket that I decorated the back on, but I don't have anything like this that's a little bit more cropped and fitted. So I figured for $4.99, that was definitely something that I wanted to pick up. The next thing I have to show you guys is this fake leather jacket. So this is not real leather, but I did think this was a really nice design. It's definitely a higher quality fake leather jacket, and you can tell that from all the detail work that went into it. Like if I look at these sleeves, like that's all seams that are sewn. The jacket in the inside has a lining in it right here, which shows me it's also a little bit more high quality, because generally that's a shortcut that brands will take, is to not put a lining in a coat, and they're trying to cut corners and save money. And there's also just a lot of interesting details on this jacket, from the asymmetrical zipper to the snaps right here, as well as there's pockets with a zipper, which if you're a woman, you know how hard this can be to find on a jacket. And the best part was that this jacket I paid $6.29 for. So not only was it at Goodwill, it was actually originally $7.99 or something, but it was actually even on sale. So if you guys are not familiar with how Goodwill works, the tags are all different colors at Goodwill, and then certain weeks there are different discounts based on the color of the tag. So they have some kind of a system for tracking their inventory that way, and the things that have been there the longest will be the things that go on sale based on the color of the tags. The other thing I want to say about this jacket is currently it's 95 out, and I will not be wearing this jacket, and I'm not even thinking about wearing a jacket. In fact, I'm wearing a tank top and shorts, obviously even inside, because it's just hot out. But a thrifting tip for you guys is to kind of look for things in the off season, because like come fall, like come September, come the end of August, depending on where you live, maybe not until October, jackets at Goodwill are going to be hard to find. The things that are in season that people are like actively looking for are always way more picked over. And so if you kind of shop like ahead of the curve or like in the off season for things, you're a lot more likely to find some good things like this and the denim jacket that I found. I actually have another jacket to show you guys from a different trip to Goodwill that you'll see in a moment. The next thing I found, which I actually got dirt on, but this was not from Goodwill, this was from me, is this puffer jacket. So this is from Land's End, and it is just a sort of winter puffer jacket. It was $10.99, which these kind of down jackets can be like $100 easily. I'm kind of in need for something like that. I have a really long parka that I wear that goes like beyond my knees for when it's really, really cold, and that's a great jacket, but I don't really have any kind of like an in-between jacket. I have kind of like a denim jacket or like this leather jacket, and then it goes immediately to parka, and I don't really have an in-between jacket on that spectrum. So I thought this could be my in-between jacket. Other thing that you might find interesting about this jacket is that it's actually a men's jacket. And so this is kind of a thrifting tip that I have for you guys. Certain things are not that different for men and women, honestly. And you generally find sometimes a better selection in the men's section because men are less likely, I think, to go thrifting or just like clothing shopping in general. But people are still sorting out their clothes regardless of if they're a man or a woman. And I think even men are sometimes more likely to sort stuff out because I feel like they're like, if I'm not using it, like don't keep it around. Where I feel like my women friends are more likely to be like, oh, you know, but I might use this, or what if I move, or like what if it gets colder or something. Whereas men are like, oh, I haven't used this in a while, like let me just get rid of it. I don't know if that's true for everybody. Obviously that's a generalization, but I have really had very good success in the men's section of Goodwill. Also, especially if you're like a taller woman or you're trying to have something fit a little bit more oversized, you're gonna find a lot of things that fit you maybe even better than the things in the women's department. Like I really like this jacket because the sleeves are like long enough on me, they come up to about here. Whereas when I buy a women's jacket, the sleeves are like here. In the winter, I don't want cold wrists. Then I have my glove ending here, my jacket ending here, and then I just have like a cold wrist in between. Like that's not very practical, honestly. Also, men's jackets have great pockets. So like this one has a great huge zipper pocket right here. I have a few more things to show you from the men's section of Goodwill, but before I show you that, I just wanted to say another tip for that is that if you're a small woman, go look in the children's department for the bigger sizes of children's sizes because you can actually find some really good things there sometimes as well. This doesn't really apply to me so much because I'm tall and I don't fit into those sizes of clothes really, but I do have shorter friends who have told me that they've done this because generally the kids' clothes at Goodwill are cheaper, just like kids' clothes in normal stores usually are cheaper. And also, I think other women aren't thinking to do this, and so maybe it's a little bit less picked over. Also, generally, children grow out of their clothes, and that's why they end up getting donated. It's not like they're so worn out that they end up getting donated a lot of the time. So sometimes you can find things that are like almost new, basically, because a kid, you know, wore it once, and then by the time it was the next winter, like they're already grown out of it basically, and then it was donated. So if you're a small person, you might want to consider checking the children's section of your thrift stores as well. All right, so the next thing I found was this waffle knit Henley from Columbia, and I didn't like this. I don't really need this shirt. I definitely don't need it, but I do love this color of green. That's a color I wear a lot anyway, and I know that, you know, Columbia, it's going to be good quality. And this shirt basically looks like new. Like I'm not even sure if anybody ever wore it. If I look at the sleeve ends here, which is a good spot to always check to see, especially with long sleeve things, if it was worn, I mean, it doesn't appear to be worn at all. There's no threads unraveling in the inside of that sleeve either. So I figured, why not pick this up? It was $2.99, you guys. My latte at Starbucks cost more than this shirt cost me. And I know that this is a good quality brand. So I figured I'll just pick this up, and then I have an extra shirt to kind of throw over at night when it gets cool in the evenings, especially as we go into fall. Great tip for the thrift store that I wanted to share with you guys is this thing right here. Okay, so most thrift stores, they do have changing rooms or fitting rooms where you can try things on, but I get a little bit grossed out trying things on in Goodwills and in thrift stores. Like, I'm sure things are probably clean, but I feel like I've had a few bad experiences with this, and it also just is like a mental thing. Also, it takes a lot of time to try on clothes. So sometimes I'm just not in the mood. So I know my measurements generally. I know my bust, I know my waist, I know my hip measurements. And so then I just come with a measuring tape and I just measure the clothes while I'm there. So it's like if I want to know if a pair of jeans will fit, I'll just measure across the top of the pair of jeans and then just multiply that by 2, and then that is the size of the waist of the pair of jeans. Because the problem is, like, you might read the tag, but the sizes might not line up. Like, I think we've all had this experience where it's like, oh, in one brand you're, you know, a size small, but then in another brand you're buying a size large, and then in another brand, like, you could be an extra small, but only in pants and only if it's stretchy. Like, it's just, it gets so confusing, and it's such a mind game. And when you're going through a place that's already not the most organized, sometimes it depends on the thrift store how organized it is, really. But if you're already going through a lot of clothes to try and find good things, which you do have to do in a thrift store because it's, you know, everything's kind of one of a kind at that point. There's not going to be multiple sizes of anything. It can be really helpful to just have a tape measure, and that's how I just check things while I'm in there, and then I know that things are going to fit me when I come home. That might not matter as much if you're wearing a big oversized shirt like this flannel, but for certain things it does really matter. Like if you want to know if a pair of pants is going to hit you like, you know, capris or more like 7/8 pants, or like going to be full length jeans on you, then having something like this is great, because if you know your inseam, you can measure the inseam on the pair of pants, and then you can kind of get an idea for how long is this compared to the length of my inseam. Okay, the next two things I got in the men's section, this one was, I believe, $5.99, and this one was $4.99, and these are both obviously plaid flannel shirts, which I love my plaid flannel shirts. I have 2 of them. They're both men's ones. They're probably 2 of my most worn clothing items over at least the last year where I've been traveling. I have both of them with me while I'm traveling, and it's kind of funny because I just feel like I have so many pictures of me in these shirts everywhere. Like, traveling and living basically out of a suitcase or out of your car basically turns you into a serial outfit repeater, because you can only have so many items of clothes with you, especially like the more colorful things where it's more obvious, because like white tank tops or, you know, black tank tops or something, nobody really notices if you're repeating those very often. But I feel like with something that's a little bit more distinct, like a plaid flannel, it's like, oh, there's the orange one again, there's the blue one again. And this one is actually the same brand as one of the other ones I have, so I just couldn't say no. This one I thought was a really pretty blue and white and dark blue, which are also the colors of my college that I went to, which is the University of Connecticut. They are navy and white, and I feel like this was very in that spirit. My other plaid flannel is from the same brand. It's a darker blue, and then it has like red stripes in it, but this one is a little bit more of a heavyweight one. This brand, I don't even know how you say this, Jachs, or Jachs. This is a really nice, thick, heavyweight flannel. If you've ever shopped in the women's flannel department, generally they're like really thin, like more of a fashion statement instead of practicality. And sometimes that's very frustrating, especially if you're planning to wear it to actually keep you warm. So I really like that this brand makes the flannels very high quality, and it really feels like a camping. I call them my camping shirts, but I wear them all the time anyway. Again, I have the thing with the men's here where the sleeves are actually long enough for once for me, so yay for that. And I also like the men's clothes because they're bigger than the women's clothes, so like I can wear this over a women's jacket and I can really layer up when I have a big outer layer like this that I can kind of put around everything else. I did try to match my eyeshadow to this flannel shirt for the day. I don't know what you guys think of that, but I do have blue eyeshadow on, and it's been kind of fun to wear something that is totally outside of my comfort zone and that I don't normally do. Hopefully it's not too distracting for the purposes of this video though. This red and white one is a little bit thinner, which is okay, but it's from Wrangler, so we know this is also going to be a pretty good quality one. There doesn't appear to be any, you know, marks or signs of wear on it. Again, like, you want to check the sleeves as a great spot for that. You want to check if there's any missing buttons if you're going to be buying down a button-down shirt. But this one, I just really like this maroon color. It's another one of my favorite colors, and I never found the perfect maroon flannel shirt. And I feel like this could also be kind of a Christmassy one as well, or a holiday spirity one as well. So I went ahead and picked up both of these. That's really everything I have for you guys today. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this video. I had fun making it. I think it was a fun combination for me to combine my love for fashion and also my love for the outdoors, because obviously a lot of these clothes were very practical and very outdoorsy kind of looking clothes. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope wherever you're watching, you're having a great day, and I want to thank you for your time. You could have been doing anything with your time, but you decided to watch this video and spend your time here with me. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, YouTube.